mining away, shut our mine down for 2 weeks and see how many lights are on.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Ray. Welcome to another episode of the New South Wales One Nation TV. Today I'm joined by the candidate of the Hunter electorate, and that is Dale McNAMARA. I'm so glad to have you here today, Dale. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Evelyn. Great to catch up with you again, and just sit here in the Hunter. Sitting in my office, just doing my job at the moment, and which is obviously working within the coal mine industry in the Hunter, and also right through Australia. But I'm based here in the Hunter, and based supporting the mine industry, and employing plenty of people that work here and across our other branches that are supporting the mine industry, and
And that's sort of what I wanted to get into, because you're not a politician, you're a businessman, a very successful one, and you don't need to be a politician. So a lot of people sort of want to know who Dale is, like the man behind the One Nation candidacy. So if you're happy to, I'd love to hear a little bit about your background, your history, and sort of what led you to this particular moment where you're going to enter politics.
Yeah, well, Evelyn, I've been, like I said, I've been in business now for 30 plus years, and in that 30 odd years, I've started in a small capacity as just a private company, just with very small employees, virtually husband and wife business for a number of years. Then the company grew, and when companies grow, you need help, and you need the right help. And I was very lucky to have a lot of great people join me on my journey in business, and a lot of those people today, Evelyn, are still with me. So yeah, it's been a great time, and I guess but again, I say it's a lot of hard work. But again, you're only as good as the people around you. So I have been very lucky to grow a business, which is a very large business now and a very large portfolio. But again, I have a very large team, a very good team, and so there is challenges in business, and a lot of the challenges in business is a lot of the red tape and the stupidity that the parties that people in business vote in, and people like the workers, people that are in business like myself, and I just become so frustrated with some of the unbelievable bad decisions from the major parties, and also the wokes that are out there, the power that the Greens seem to have over major parties, especially the Greens and the Labor Party, that I've just seen, and it's just really, really hard to run a business and to keep people employed, and to continue growing a business. In this environment, and it's been a tough environment for the last couple of years, but luckily that we've been able to keep all our people employed right through COVID. I've personally assisted with a lot of other businesses and properties that I own, assisting with free rent. When you've got good people, you want them to be there at the end of a tough time. So you've really got to invest into your people. I think I've done that reasonably well, and I think that's the success of any business. If you really, it's not all about the nuts and bolts. It's about the people in the business, and if you really invest into your people and look after your people, you can pretty well do anything. So, but yes, I am. I've put my hat up as the One Nation candidate, a great party, a party that believes in people, a party that supports people, and not a political machine. You know, there is, you know, we hear lots of things about these major parties, and I'll tell you, you know, not good things, especially of recent, you know, with bullies in politics. You know, it's just, and you know, it's just disgusting that I think that's happening in our in this country, because you know, we've been through a terrible last 2 years plus, where people's lost their businesses, you know, lost their, you know, caused huge mental stress on people, huge, you know, it just doesn't stop. And then, you know, people losing their freedom, you know, people losing their jobs. And because of stupid mandates, and you know, to me, it's felt like the last 2 years has felt like, you know, we've been invaded with wokes and stupidity. So yeah, so but I'm still here, sitting here today, and you know, still running the business. But I have a very large team in our business, and I've got the right people to look after this business. I'll still be there as a sounding board when people want a sounding board. I'm good at that with our team, and but I really feel that my time, if I put the time into the political side of things, which I'm really looking forward to, hopefully be successful in this next election for the One Nation and the federal election for the Hunter. And I think when you've got people like people like Mark Lathan and Pauline Hanson and the team, I think it's what the Hunter needs. I think, you know, people need, and I believe people want to change, and I believe people want a voice. And I think, you know, the One Nation, if Dale McNAMARA is elected for the Hunter, they will get a voice that they need. Because as been in business for many years and watching elections over many, many years now, you know, the parties turn up, and you know, we've all voted. I've voted probably for different parties. For all of them, I've voted for both sides of major parties at times. But again, it's just like, well, we get your vote, and once we get your vote, well, then you don't matter anymore. You know, it's just I just feel that it's just you know, they say that, you know, you just lied to a lot. It's really hard to get confidence in what these people are telling you. And you know, we seem to cop in our industry in mining. You know, we seem to cop a lot of abuse. You know, we have people that, you know, we don't put coal on our shirts anymore because people in the street come up and have a go at people because they're in coal mining. You know, I've been driving my car in Sydney and had my side door kicked because I've got a mining vehicle on the side of my vehicle. You know, I've had people crossing the street and kick my vehicle because I'm in mining. You know, like, it's crazy. And if they only realise that, you know, in mining, you know, take the mining away, shut our mines down for 2 weeks, and see how many lights are on. You know, so mining for me has been my life, and a big part of people's lives in the Hunter is mining. And I can tell you now, Evelyn, Dale McManus wouldn't have anything today that he's got only for coal mining.
Yeah. So I guess you could say you've been called. You feel almost like you have a responsibility to enter politics as opposed to a career, because again, you have a very lucrative career. You're fine, and you know, clearly the Hunter is a very diverse and I guess broad sort of area. But for people who might not be familiar with the Hunter per se. What things have you noticed in the hunter that you think you could do better, policies that you might bring in, or just areas that you really want to give special attention to that you think would better the people in the hunter region?
Well, Evelyn, the Hunter region is a beautiful region, and we have some great things in the Hunter. We have great vineyards, great wineries for people. We have a very strong horse racing industry in the Hunter. We have, some great racetracks like Newcastle, Scone, Muswellbrook. I believe they're spending some money on the Cessnock racetrack. Horse racing is, as I say, horse racing and breeding. The best thoroughbreds are in the Hunter. And yes, we have our mining industry. We have, I believe we have it all in the Hunter. But again, we have a lot of money that goes out of the Hunter that I don't believe the Hunter gets back. And if we look at, when I ran in the by-election this year, the amount of money that, which goes in royalty money from the money that's generated in the coal that goes into Sydney, we get a few promises and we get a few small things that I campaign for myself for the sporting bodies, such as girls' change rooms and facilities that we're entitled to. So we're still getting a very, very small part, of return revenue from the money that is generated from our coal mine industry, such as coal royalties. These people that are, trying to kill the coal mine industry, the Greens and, with the Labor support, the Greens and Labor, let's face it, they are against coal mining. They have said they want to stop coal mining. Some of the things that's been brought to my attention. There was a incident up up north of Singleton, in the Ravensworth area, Evelyn, where the Greens, with support of the Labor Party, wanted to stop mining around this particular village. Would have shut down 5 coal mines. Now that went to state. And Mark Lathan and the shooters voted against that motion, which would have put hundreds of coal mining people out of work, Evelyn. So, this is the things that they're not telling the people. They're turning up and telling them how good that the Labor and the Greens and all them are going to do for the jobs. And they say that One Nation, doesn't support permanent jobs. Well, I can tell you, Evelyn, Dale McNAMARA supports permanent jobs. The unions, we have unions in our businesses here, and the unions know, and I have told them that when I invest into somebody, we train people, we invest into them, we want permanent jobs. I do not want casual workforce in our businesses that I'm part of, and a lot of companies that I know also. When you invest into people, you want to keep them and you want to look after them, and they'll look after you. So there's a lot of noise out there at the moment, Evelyn, that it's all around, One Nation not supporting permanent jobs in the coal mine industry. Well, Evan, that's nothing but a lie. There was a legislation that went through that was voted on, and all they're doing now, all that the Labor Party continues to do with the Greens, is put up a banner. They put the banner up in the by-election. Guys, you need to move on. You've got to do better than that, because the fact is that One Nation does support permanent jobs. Dale McNamara supports permanent jobs. Dale McNamara employs a lot of people with permanent jobs. So, guys, he's really got to give up on that one, because it's pathetic.
So you mentioned, like Greens and Labor and things like that. And we've spoken previously about how many Australians fall in the trap of only voting for major political parties like Liberal and Labor and the Greens. And that I think you hit the nail on the head when you said now more than ever, Australians need to be changing, and Australians are looking for change, because for a long time, I think, as you mentioned again previously, people are voting for these major parties and then they're not getting anything in return at all. What do you feel that you could personally offer, or things that you feel pretty strongly about and passionate about that you could bring to the Hunter region if you were to be elected into the seat at Hunter?
Well, I believe if I'm elected for the seat of the Hunter, Evelyn, that what I'll bring is I will take them with me to Canberra, their thoughts and what they need and what the people of the Hunter need. Because, the major parties, we've got Joel Fitzgibbons that's resigned, retired, let's say retired from the Labor Party in Cessnock. Now, we've only got to wind the clock back when we look at Joel with Albanese, wanting to stand up or make his claim and support for the coal mine industry and the Hunter. He virtually got, what happened? He ended up on the backbench.
Mm.
But with One Nation and Dale McNAMARA, if he's elected for the Hunter, I won't be getting bullied by any major party. I certainly can stand my own ground. And what the people of the Hunter need and want is that when they talk to someone during this election, they go and they hear what they've got to say, whether or not it's about, the hospitals, and the nurses and the school teachers and the fireys and all the suffering that these families and people of every industry has had to suffer during COVID, is that they're talking to someone like Dale McNamara that's listening. And they're talking to someone like Dale McNamara, they'll have confidence when he goes down there, he won't forget where he's coming from.
Mm.
When I said, I'm not running as a career politician. I'm running as a person that grew up in the Hunter that's had enough.
Yeah.
I'm putting my hand up because you've either got to put your hand up and have a go for the people of the Hunter, or you just got to cop it on the chin.
Mm.
Well, I've copped it on the chin. The people of the Hunters copped it on the chin, and we've had enough. So, I believe that I can be a good voice, and I believe that I can make as much noise and stand up and fight for the Hunter, like Pauline Hanson has done, and what Mark Latham has done, and other people that are in part of one nation, and that will have the right values and doing the job for the right reason.
Yeah.
And with Pauline, and with One Nation, with Pauline Hanson, there is no one more passionate about representing the people that she represents in her electorate. Well, I can say to you that I'll have the passion and the fight for the people in my electorate, because I do not believe that the Labor, and let's forget the Greens, Labor, well, let's call them Labor Greens. Pity help it if that ever happens. Just pity help the Hunter.
Dark days.
Dark days, very dark days. If Labor Greens get in the Hunter and take the seat of the Hunter, people, please don't be fooled. If you don't vote for Dale McNamara, please don't vote for that, because it'll be a disaster for the Hunter.
Yeah.
We were heading into very dark times.
Have you heard from people in your particular area? Like, have people come up to you and sort of told you their fears, if that ever happens? Or not just that, but like come and have sort of approached you and sort of said, Dale, like, this is what I'm worried about. Could you maybe share some stories about that?
100%, Evelyn. There is people that are working in the coal mines, that are working in the power industry, that are working in industries that are supporting the power industry and the coal mine industry. The Hunter is one of the fastest growing residential hubs in New South Wales.
Wow.
And there is a huge amount of young families that are investing their first home, and people, that are investing their first home with substantial mortgages, that when they hear at night that they're shutting down coal-fired power stations, which are supplied coal from coal industries that are coal mines that are very close to the power stations, there are thousands of jobs, Evelyn, that is affected. So yes, I get approaches from people when I'm out having an afternoon, sometimes with some friends, or I'm walking in the street, walking into Woolworths, walking into Coles, walking into the paper shop. I get people come to me all the time, and they say, "Good on you, Dale, for having a go," because there's no one else out there that's fighting for us like we believe you will. And that's from people that own the corner store, that's making hamburgers, that's people that have got cleaning businesses, every type of industry that's in the Hunter. And this isn't all, there's more than coal mines in the Hunter, correct? Yeah, right, 100%. But you take our industry out of the Hunter, and there'll be a lot of families. There'll be a lot of people that, a lot of senior people, elderly people that's done very well out of the industry for many years, and their business have done very well. But there is a lot of young families. There is a lot of young businesses. There is a lot of, in the Hunter, I drive down the street in the Hunter, and I see a lot of young business. I see a lot of young guys, a lot of young ladies that start their own business. And that could be from an air conditioning business, from doing air conditioning, from hairdressing, to beauticians, to cafes, and I've seen these people grow up. And I say to myself, wow, they've done really well. But, you take the, again, I'm on about mining. Yes, I'm very pro-coal. I'll put my hand up, 100% pro-coal. But you kill the mine industry, kill our coal-fired generation in the Hunter, you kill the pulse. So the pulse of the Hunter is the mine industry. There's probably people, yes, there's people there that don't like the mine industry, but I tell you what, there's more that do. And there's more that, like Dale McNAMARA has done very well from the mine industry. And there's businesses that are around that industry that are doing reasonably well, and they are scared. So yes, those girls, those boys, those men, those ladies that are in business, yes, they come and speak to me. And there's not one time that somebody, if I'm out, I get a few hours on a Saturday afternoon out with a few old mates, having a couple of light beers, or a few beers, and a bit of a social afternoon. But every Saturday afternoon, there'll be someone in the crowd or somebody else there in the facility that where I am, and I'll come up and go, "Good to see you having a go, mate. We really need someone to have a fight for us." So what it's all about, Evelyn, is, people say to me, "Dale, why, we don't understand." People come to me also and go, "Dale, we don't understand why you're running." I go, "What is it you don't understand?" "Well, you don't really need, you don't need a job." "No, you're right, I don't need a job." "You're not doing it for the money." No, I'm not doing it for the money." "Why?" And I go, "You." You go, "Oh, me?" I said, "Exactly." I said, "This is about the people." And sure, I've made some good decisions in business, and again, because I've had good people around me, and I've supported the people around me. But at the same time, I feel that I have something that I can offer, and I'm not afraid to speak up, and I think I can hold my own there, and I won't be bullied or pushed around by the politicians that appears to be there's some bullies out there. I won't be bullied, because I'll tell you what, they'll know if they do, if they take me on, they'll be in for a blue, I can tell you. And that's what the Hunter wants. So it's time, and I'm putting my hand up, because yes, I can afford to, and yes, I can put the time into it, because, or I can go and sit on the waterfront and just enjoy myself and go fish and play golf. But I don't want to do that. I'm having a crack for the people of the Hunter. And
Yeah.
I think, and I believe that the people of the Hunter will see that Dale McNamara has done very well for the Hunter, and they'll hear me. They won't just see me, they'll hear me, and they'll know that my voice is their voice.
Now, Mark Latham posted a really good picture that he attributed to yourself the other day, and it was a red baseball cap that said, "Make coal great again," which is sort of a parallel to the Trump red MAGA sort of hat, but it was brilliantly put, and he wore the hat very well, and I'm guessing that that's, you know, he's had conversations with you about those things. I'm a little disappointed, Dale, that you didn't wear one today. I was really hoping that you might, but maybe next time we can get you to wear one.
Yeah, absolutely, Evelyn. But I've just when I came down to my office this morning, my lady's here in the office, and I think my IT guy and a couple of my workshop managers, they've had a bit of fun over the weekend. So if you can give me a second, I'd like to bring in to show you what they put on my notice board this morning when I walked in.
Okay, sure.
All my staff was having a giggle when I walked in my office, but I'll just give me 1 second.
Yeah,
and I'll show you
sure.
what they've got on the wall for me.
Yes, please.
So in my office this morning, Evelyn.
Making Aussie, yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's very fitting.
Yeah, so I'm, they've sort of put my head on Mr. Trump's body, but anyhow, there it is, make coal great again.
Yeah.
Uncle Mac. Yep. So yeah, so that's yeah,
that's very good.
Yeah, and all our staff here and all the people that work here and other businesses that are very close to here that are also in mining, they're also pretty happy with what I'm doing, you know. They're also it's great to see someone that really understands how important our industry is to our people here and the Hunter, and also, you know, like I said, you know, I'm in the I've got a few hotels, Evelyn, in the Hunter. And, you know, like, you know, we're in mining here, you know, I spend my time in mining, but also really enjoy, again, you know, haven't been involved in the industry that I'm in, which my eldest son, and I've got another good manager that works with him, Daniel. Yeah, we've got some really good venues. One of them, our most recent venue, I'll give the plug while I'm here, is the Miller Park Miller Park Hotel now, which used to be Miller Park Bowling Club, and it's one of the it's the only hotel. It's the only hotel in New South Wales that's got a bowling green. Now we've got the state-of-the-art bowling green, new state-of-the-art synthetic, very, very high quality. The community of Branxton, obviously Branxton's in the Hunter, community of Branxton and Huntley and people from Singleton, Greta, all around the area of the Hunter there, people from coming over from Cessnock. So yeah, it's all about, you know, my life's all about yeah, it's all about business, and yeah, I'm in business, and people, you know, the unions, and you know, I was a union man in the Miners Federation for 12 years, and you know, was part of the Northern Mine Workers Federation, you know, with great leaders such as the president being Billy Chapman, Jimmy Hayes, a very great safety inspector called Ronnie Stoddard. I enjoyed my time in the mine industry. I had a great time, and I enjoyed the conditions at the Northern Mine Workers Federation, you know, brought for the coal miners in the Hunter and right across Australia. So yeah, I'm a coal miner. I've dug my fair share of coal. I've drilled a lot of blasting, did a lot of blasting in the mines. You know, I had a nickname called Bang at Warkworth. They used to call me Bang because I was in explosive. So yeah, Bang. So yeah, look, and still today, the guys that I worked with in the mines, still got plenty of mates in the mine industry that work in the mines that I have a beer with on Saturdays. I'll catch up with them often. So yeah. So, you know, I'm as true as blue Hunter you're ever going to get, I think, Evelyn. And I think that the people of the Hunter, who know me know that I'm pretty passionate about what I do. We've all made mistakes. If you haven't made a mistake, you haven't made a decision in your life.
True.
So I'm looking forward to hoping that I can do my best for the people in the Hunter, and also, but the way I feel that to be successful for the people in the Hunter is to really listen to the people, and I think I've been doing that for a long time. I'm a good communicator. If you talk to people that are in our businesses that I'm involved in, I'm not down there on the tools, but I always communicate with our people. I like to have a very open book with our people. I don't like our staff guessing. I like to the communication to me is very, very important. So I think anyone that's been involved with me socially or professionally will say that he does communicate, he does let us know, and he does listen. And I certainly don't for 1 minute tolerate bullies in our business. We have a lot of people. We have a lot of ladies. We have a lot of men. We have young men. We have young girls in our businesses, and it's very important for me to ensure that those people come here, go home safe, and when they're here, they get very well looked after. And so that's the strength.
Yeah, I was going to ask you just before we close the interview, speaking of communication and things like that, I guess there are probably a lot of questions that people would want to ask you moving forward. I know, now more than ever, we have to be interested in our politics holistically. We have to really know what policies are going to be voted in, especially when we put our vote in the voting booth. And so if people wanted to, after watching this interview with you today, reach out to you, maybe ask you and communicate with you some more questions, do you have somewhere where they can get in touch with you? And not only that, are you planning on doing any meet and greets in the future, or getting out in the community at different events and they can maybe come and have a conversation with you?
Yeah, absolutely, Evan. I'll be I guess a lot of people can get overwhelmed with elections. A lot of people feel that, there's been lots of elections, been lots of by-elections, the local council election. So I think sometimes people get, well, not another bloody election, not another politician. But I will be certainly getting out and seeing people. I've been walking the streets in parts of the Hunter, sitting down, having different chats to people from different councils, mayors of towns. I'm actually meeting the Singleton mayor and general manager this afternoon, and I'll be meeting the mayor of Muswellbrook on the 28th of this month. Cessnock. I had a sit down in the main street the other day in Cessnock with some councillors from Cessnock. There's some great councillors in Cessnock Council. One particular lady in Cessnock Council, Ann Sander. I know she's a Labor lady, but she's a very, very good candidate for Cessnock. A very good councillor. But like I said, I'm not against anybody or any particular party, but I am against the madness of some parties. And I am against the fact that when you tell people that you're not going to be part of, let's face it, we know that the Greens are just disastrous for the Hunter. And if the Labor Party works and supports and goes with the Greens, well, we know in the Hunter that we'll be goners. Okay? So to say to you, I'm getting off the track here, but yes, I will be getting out there. I'm a guy who likes to cook a meal at home at night for my family. So I'm often in Woolies, in Cessnock or Singleton, wherever I'm coming. I like to buy fresh, and I like to go and so I'm a very approachable person. Probably on this interview, you see, I'm not bad at having a chat. So I'm not someone that won't stop and talk to people. I know we've got some things planned over the next few weeks, and when the election's called, But one thing I will say, Evelyn, yes, I'll be out there and I'll be doing things to see people. But what I am doing now is I'm actually visiting people, and people are contacting me that have really been let down by the parties that have been elected during the by-election, and also the party such as the Labor Party in Cessnock. So there's a lot of individuals and families, farmers, miners, electrical companies, steel companies that are retail businesses in the Hunter. They're coming to me and going, Dale, you know, we want your banner on our fences. We want to support One Nation because we believe One Nation is good for us. So I feel, and I've been quite overwhelmed with walking into some of the shops, travelling and buying something for lunch, and just asking the question, how do they feel, and do they think they're getting their fair go in their town in politics? And the answer is no. Well, there is nobody in the Hunter, in any of the towns in the Hunter electorate, that is saying that they feel they're really getting a fair go. Now the major parties, and that might say, yes, that's not true, but I'm telling you, that is true. That there are so many people from working class, from in business, from all sorts of are saying that they don't believe they're getting a fair go. And so yes, I'm going to be out there talking to people. We'll have events in Branxton at Mill Park. We'll have them in Singleton. We'll be going to different fairs and events that are happening in the Hunter. We had a booth in at the Newcastle show, but I was going to spend the day there on Sunday, but it got washed out and we got packed up. But we're doing another one in Cessnock, and we're doing ones at Singleton. We'll be attending and we'll be out there, and One Nation will be seen. Dale McNAMARA personally will be seen, who obviously is One Nation. But and you know, people know who I are. People know where they can get me. I'm on the Facebook. One Nation's got a posting on the Facebook, and I feel I'm probably not the best IT person or the best person in that field. Certainly my son is, and people like that are, the younger people are, but I'm on there and I'm putting on there, and anybody that wants to contact me, please contact me through that, or you know, they can contact me on my mobile. I'll be putting my phone out there. We'll have some flyers going out there very soon. We just had there's been a company in Sydney who has been in Singleton has been getting some stuff organised for us, but it was coming out of Sydney for some stuff, and we've had a few delays on that. But you're going to see plenty of One Nation exposure out there. And like I said, I've been a little bit concerned about some of the rusted on areas, thinking, oh, well, you know, this is a rusted on town for Labor or for Nationals. Well, you know, that's not the case. It's not the case, Evelyn. It's there's a lot of unhappy people, So I think that One Nation, One Nation's a good safe bet for the election. And and I'll tell you, I'll be from the experience I have, I know business, I know how to run business. And I know what people want. So I think between the business experience that I've got, and I think that the personal approach I have with people, and my history of looking after people, I think I'll make a good politician for the time that I can serve the Hunter.
Well, I do hope people reach out to you if they have any more questions. I hope people go to the events. I hope people take an interest in politics. It sounds like the hunter very much depends on people paying attention and getting rid of the mentality of only voting for one particular party until they die. But I do appreciate you coming on today. I appreciate your insights, and I really respect your successes as a businessman and how that could definitely translate into the way that you go forward with your politics. But appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining me, and all the best with the upcoming election.
Thank you very much, Evelyn.